Good morning, everyone. How's it going? I wanted to make a video to address a topic that I was just thinking about right now because it really, it really just disturbs me a little bit, I guess. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does because I really love our chiropractic profession. It disturbs me a little bit to see these different these different representatives out there showing the public what chiropractic is, and the stuff that sticks the most, the stuff that gets all the views, is when people just unzip someone's entire spine. They try to move every single joint in someone's body. There's no apparent assessment. There's no rhyme or reason as to what they're doing. And you watch these people when they make multiple videos over and over again, and they do the same exact thing on every single patient. So before I get into my explanation, my rhyme and reason of why I felt compelled to talk about this topic, if you want to see the things that can be done to support a specific chiropractic adjustment that I think really helps someone more long term, that is supported in the evidence out there, the research out there as far as how the human body works, musculoskeletal health, how we function, go check out a 30-minute pre-recorded demo that we made. Just go to demo.movenowyou.com and you can check out the demo, and it shows all the systems inside that we put together, never to replace the specific adjustment, but to aid in it, to help produce support and stability and long-term health for someone. So now let's get back to the original topic. If you think about the top videos right now, just go on YouTube, type in chiropractic adjustment, type and what are you going to see? You're going to see a couple people that have millions of views on each one of their videos, and they do the same exact thing on every single person. And what they do is maybe a 10-minute routine of just going through and grossly manipulating the entire spine, multiple extremities, no rhyme or reason to it at all. Just like that's what chiropractors do. They just move every joint in the body, and that's what the public perception is, versus how I got into chiropractic and how I was inspired to do chiropractic, and legacies in chiropractic like some of the top practitioners out there, whether upper cervical doctors, Dr. Gonstead, for example. They had a methodical analysis and approach to finding where the problem was, and then had hands-on skill to specifically address that problem. Okay, so versus what we're seeing out there right now is a shotgun approach. Just move everything, pop and pray, hope you get lucky. And what happens to the patient, it's such a overwhelming stimulus to their nervous system, cavitating all these joints, releasing endorphins. Sure, they're going to feel better there, and they're going to say, wow, that feels great on video when it's within a 5 to 10 minute time frame window. But long term, as far as not just feeling better, not just symptom relief short term, but long term, what's the goal that we're trying to accomplish as chiropractors? And I know all of us might have different goals. And so if your goal is really just keep it super basic and just be kind of a little bit more than a massage for someone, like give them some temporary relief, then you could do the 3-minute pop and pray adjustment, or you could add to it and make it 10 minutes like a lot of these internet sensations have, where they just do more gross manipulation in a 10-minute period. So they might start off, do a really just basic exam that doesn't really tell you much of anything. And then at the end of that exam, poke, 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 pop, pop. Yep, that feels a little stuck right there. Let's push on there. Boom, boom, boom. They don't even really identify what segment they're working on, which would be important to chart and note, because if the patient got worse or got better, you'd want to know what it was so you could reproduce it in the future, right? Or is there a goal structurally? Are you trying to change anything structurally? Are you finding joint fixation at a certain segment or a level? Do you have any sort of imaging like x-ray to be able to support the findings, to say that maybe there's indications or contraindications to even working on that segment? Does the person have pathology in their spine? I mean, so many things that just, again, like I started, make me a little concerned for the future of our profession if this is what's getting all the publicity. So it's kind of a call to action as far as why I'm saying this too. If you're a chiropractor who does really specific, detailed work, make videos and talk about what you're doing, because we really need to get more of that out there instead of the videos of hey, you crack addicts, you want to hear lots of popping? Let's go and show you lots of popping. Now, granted, if you look at the audience that's watching that, you look at the comments below, a lot of it's very belligerent, you know, lots of just very unprofessional comments made by these people. I don't know if it's like a bunch of lowlifes who watch this stuff, but the problem is like it's still getting all these views, so it's popping up in people's news feed. It's popping up in their here's what we suggest that you watch. So it's getting in front of a lot of people, even though if the people commenting just happen to be like not really in the demographic of what we're trying to reach as chiropractic, because they're making just some really silly and obscene comments. You know, like almost every video has some girl that's in a bikini or something, and then half the comments are totally chauvinistic and something about that girl's boobs or something like that. You know, I mean that's like typically what you see. But bottom line is this, and what I wrote in my title is that do more to support the chiropractic adjustment instead of just trying to, I think, give your patient the idea that adjusting more segments, okay? Because just slamming on a bunch of segments in someone's spine doesn't make them better. It's actually quite the contrary. Typically, over adjusting someone and working on too many segments, one is, again, you don't know what made them better, what made them worse, but also, two, you're just bombarding the system with a bunch of input that maybe they don't need. So, don't really care what technique you do as far as in chiropractic. I'm biased. I do Gonstead. I'm an advocate of specific analysis and adjusting, having the skill to be able to move one segment, okay, or at least primarily get most of the force of the adjustment into one segment to affect a segment that is restricted, so fixation, has likely muscle splinting around that joint, palpable edema, point tenderness, and then some sort of radiographic x-ray finding that supports why it would make sense to work on that segment, or at least rule out a contraindication of why maybe you shouldn't work on a certain segment. Use criteria like that. Use whatever system you want to use, but look at those criteria. Those are the tried and tested things that made certain chiropractors legacies. Like Dr. Gonstead was a legacy. Built the world's largest chiropractic clinic, saw almost 3 million patients, was documented over and over again, able to help fix the most challenging of cases. And something that he was a huge advocate of, that I firmly believe as well, is that some of the hardest to fix patients were the ones that were seeing other chiropractors first, that were over adjusted. So again, don't care what technique you do, but I would say don't over adjust your patients. Don't adjust 10 different segments on a visit. Don't grossly manipulate their spine. And educate your patient so that they understand the value of what you're doing, is that when they come in and they're hiring you as a professional to take care of them, they are paying you to, one, do a analysis to see what is wrong and what needs to be done, and then two, to have the hands-on skill to be able to deliver what needs to be done. That first analysis part is like right out the window, it seems like, with so many of our chiropractors nowadays. Of what they do is there's no analysis, or it's shoddy at best. I mean, it would not hold up in any sort of double-blind peer-reviewed study at all. Like, take 10 chiropractors that are trained the same way. Are they going to find the same issue? Okay. Or is it going to be one size fits all, right? And let's see, couldn't agree more, quality over quantity. Absolutely. Absolutely. So like, for example, Dr. Gonstead saw 200 patients in a day. But guess what? It was like a 20-hour day. Some patients took 20 minutes to do an analysis, and then he would adjust one segment. And then other patients would adjust two segments, and it took 3 minutes to do an analysis. And it's just really, really, I think that we're coming to a time right now, because of internet and because of YouTube and Facebook and all of this stuff, that people need to act fast, because I feel like chiropractic perception is going to hell in a handbag really, really fast, with the fact that the top people who are getting the most press out there, the most views out there, are doing, in my opinion, what I think is some of the most bastardized chiropractic ever. Like the stuff that we actually use with our patients to say, don't ever let anyone do this to your body. Okay? So again, do things to support the specific chiropractic adjustment. Like teach your patients how to maintain proper posture, what proper posture is. Do things in office or at home to improve global structural issues, postural deformities, thoracic hyperkyphosis. Instead of slamming on T3 and T6 and T9 and T12 and then doing like an anterior adjustment and then crunch, crunch, crunch prone and then doing some drop work and then twisting them side to side and then adjusting all the ribs. Instead of doing that, find one or two segments in that whole thoracic spine that really need it, because there's typically one or two subluxations in a region and many compensations. Don't focus on just adjusting everything. Don't make joints that are already mobile, hypermobile. And then teach your patient things like, here's what you can be doing for spine remodeling. Here's some home care stuff you can do. Here's exercises you can do. And then get your patients actually exercising. So inspire them to build strength and to exercise and get their heart going and do things that are actually going to help them for overall health, that support movement and support overall spinal health. That's gonna take your specific segmental adjustment and make it last and make it go a lot further versus just adjusting every single joint in someone's body. So anyway, without being too circular in my message here, please, if you have any questions or comments, I am planning on starting to make some more clinical videos and some more things on adjusting. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm God's gift to chiropractic as far as adjusting, but I think from an adjusting standpoint and a specific segmental assessment standpoint, I think I'm pretty darn good. So I'm going to start making some videos on this as far as how we do the analysis and how we do the adjustment and why we do it and what we look for in the x-ray analysis and all of that. And I'm really going to dedicate to start doing that so we can hopefully inspire other chiropractors to start doing that, so that the public starts to see that instead of seeing $1 million rolls and just twisting someone's neck like The Exorcist as far as you can, and just doing all this sensational stuff that scares half the population away from ever seeing a chiropractic. The other half thinks it's cool because it's almost like a sadomasochistic thing to do, and it takes all of our potential future colleagues out there, not to say we're trying to suck up or kiss up to surgeons and medical doctors. However, they have a lot of clout as far as referral ability and as far as influencing patients who genuinely need our help as chiropractors. So wouldn't it be better to be able to relate to a neurosurgeon or to an orthopedist or to a family practitioner, and they see that what you do is not this barbaric, like carnival show of freaking craziness like we see on YouTube so much? I mean, those other doctors, for the most part, who are doing that work, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about as far as like what YouTube videos are like in the top, 3 or 4 search, okay? For the most part, any other healthcare practitioner looks at that and gets appalled and gets further pushed away from chiropractic, and that's where you hear more and more of the bad-mouthing from other doctors saying, don't ever go to a chiropractor, because that's what they think chiropractic is. They see this thorough exam of like a 10-minute, walking through and like asking the same question to everyone and checking the reflexes and saying, okay, yep, you're good to go. No actual examination, like a detailed examination, no x-ray analysis, and then again, no rhyme or reason as to what you're doing. So anyway, this gets me a little fired up just thinking about this topic. Been thinking about it a lot lately, and I'll start taking action on it. I would encourage all of you chiropractors, start taking action as well. Make some videos just explaining how you figure out what to adjust, how you manage a patient after you adjust them and why. Talk about what you're for and what you're not for, and start flooding the internet with good quality information so that the patients, the community, can see something other than, like I said, I'm not naming any names. I'm doing that I'm biting my tongue, okay? But I'm not naming any names, and I probably should. But anyway, and if you want to see some supportive stuff and some systems that we do in a very pure chiropractic clinic that also does curve correction, that also does functional movement, check out a demo that we made. It's 30 minutes. You can see how all of this stuff works. You can jump on a phone call with us and ask if you think this would be helpful or doable in your practice, in your practice style. We have a ton of doctors doing this. It's bringing them like a joy that they've been looking for. That's not just how do you crack more bones in someone's spine, okay? Check out the demo. It's demo.movenowyou.com. and let me know what you think. And you're going to see a lot of videos coming soon that we're going to do. We're going to do a lot more technique videos. We're going to start putting a lot more stuff out on YouTube. And stand by, and I encourage you all to do the same. So appreciate you all. Thanks for hearing my rant. Comment below. Over and out.